Hello everybody and welcome to today's video on the channel, and in today's video I want to talk about the Wizard101 slash Kingsisle's core game design issue. Now this is something I've heard in the community the entire time I've been around in the game. Since the dawn of time where I was like level 50 my first character, I've been hearing about this problem, and I kind of wanted to talk about it now that I'm a content creator. Now that I've played for like 3 years, I made it to the top of the ranks multiple times on the leaderboard and stuff like that. And I've also quested 7 max characters every single school. So I figured it'd be a good time to offer my opinion on this kind of stuff. Also combine what the community is saying in my video. So there's gonna be a couple of things I want to talk about in today's video. Now, I don't want this to be misinterpreted as like a hate video or like a hate towards the devs video. That is not the case at all. Obviously, at the end of the day, everybody can do better and there's always ways to improve. So I'm not trying to be overly negative or anything like that. I just want to see the game do better and be constructive, and hopefully my video can work towards that. So the first thing I want to talk about, which affects everybody actually, is going to be the PvE experience for Novus, right? Now, if you guys remember, when Novus came out, the grinding was absolutely unbearable, and it still is to this day. I've still heard an overwhelming amount of players say how bad the Novus farming is to present day. When Walroo Test ROM is about to come back for week 2, I still hear how bad it is all the time. So unfortunately, that did not get fixed, but the community will complain about how bad something is, like the entire community, PvE and PvP. And what do the developers do? They decide to put on 9 pieces of masterpiece gear. 9. Bro, like, I remember when creators made videos about this, and I made a video about this, and like people in the Discord and stuff. I remember when we saw this, I thought, like, it's like Twitter too. We all saw this and we thought they were trolling. Like, they cannot be serious. They cannot listen to our complaint for like a month or two and then make it literally harder or more stupid, right? This is just a really dumb thing to put in, is expect 9 masterpieces. Like, I'd understand 7, like get 1 at every school or whatever. That makes a bit more sense, but like 9? Why 9? That's so stupid. Like, in my opinion, that it should be like 3 to 4, That's just insane, because you have to craft every single piece most of the time, generally, right? So I really think that's a good example for everybody, not just, the small PvP community. Everybody on widespread PvE and PvP will complain about something, and they'll just completely miss the point. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is going to be the PvP players who have been playing for years, are giving advice and not feeling heard or not being heard at all. Now, when I started my channel a little under 3 years ago, like 2.5 years ago now, I believe it is, I got a ton of comments from people saying I've been playing since 2010, 2008, 2012, 2014. I'm telling the devs, and they just don't listen, And I was told this time and time again. And I was like, all right, y'all, we can be optimistic. Devs can change. People can change. Right? And PvP has changed, for better or for worse. I think that's very controversial, obviously. But there's a lot of high-ranked players and a lot of veteran players who, I have seen. I don't even know these people like that, but I've talked to them like in Discord DMs or Discord servers, and they genuinely do know what they're talking about, And some of these players don't play anymore because they quit because of how poor some of the choices are made over at, Kingsisle on the game design balance team, for PvP at least. They'll be like, okay, this is a problem, this is what it stems from, this is why it stems from. They'll straight up say that, and nothing gets done. Or no, they don't get hurt, So, and it's really bad, because like these are really good players, really high ranked players, and if you actually sit there and listen to what they're saying, you can actually tell they have a very good understanding for the game. And if they simply just talk to a developer like one-on-one, I feel like they could literally convince them why something is broken and why this is not good for the game. But unfortunately, We don't get that. We don't have enough. We haven't had a PvP roundtable in I think 2 years. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But we don't have enough roundtables. We don't have enough like, you know, players, creators, to developers chats to talk about the meta and stuff like that. We just don't really get that, unfortunately. So like this feedback just gets lost, or it gets said and they don't actually, the developers don't actually hear out the players. And you know, I'm, you know, a culprit of this myself, right? For 3 years now, I think I've been saying how bad Storm stats are. And, you know, if you saw my video yesterday, you'll be seeing why I'm not really playing Storm anymore. If these changes make it to live realm. And I advise you guys not to play Storm as well until they actually want to listen, because there's 3 remaining people playing left, and they're only content creators, and all of them agree on the same problem. And nothing's being done for the past 3 years. So like, we literally don't have a choice but to just not play and wait until they actually want to listen to the community's feedback. It's sad that one school has gotten so bad to the point where it should just be literally needs a whole audit, or to be taken out of the game, or like just not played it at all, like freaking boycotted until people actually want to listen. But yeah, I've said stuff for years and it hasn't been listened to. Other people as well, playing way longer than I have, been saying stuff for years, and it just doesn't really get listened to at all. Or I don't know. If it does get listened to, it doesn't get put in the game, and they don't give us a reason why it doesn't get put in the game, even though it's like valid or like objectively true or whatever. It just doesn't get put through into the game. So that's a big issue I see commonly. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is actually going to be a very, very recent change in terms of things. So, if you guys know, in Test Realm, healing got nerfed universally. Okay. Now, there's burst heals like Regenerate, Pixie that got nerfed on Life. There's hit and heals for like Dark and Stormy, Goat Monk, I think Caterpillar as well. They all got nerfed. Okay. Now, that's fine and dandy and all. We all know Life has been broken for years, right? We all know that. So my issue with this one is actually the Storm one, right? Now, it's not for the reason you think it is. So Barry argues the most oppressive Storm heal, right? At lower ranks and at higher ranks, okay? It can be spammed. The value is extremely high, especially when you combine it with Outgoing. Other schools can dual school with it as well, and obviously leverage Storm DPP, like a Life, for example, which makes it even more powerful. So my issue is this card, even at lower level leagues, where it's being spammed and max level, this card simply does not get untouched, right? Do I think Storm needs a nerf at max level? Absolutely not. It's the worst school by far, and I think most people can agree with that sentiment, especially after 170 comes out here. But what instead the developers do is they actually nerf Dark and Stormy. Now, Dark and Stormy is getting nerfed by about 225 on the heal, but it's not getting compensated for the damage at all. Now, if you guys remember a couple months ago, they nerfed Dark and Stormy, but they actually audited Dark and Stormy. I think they took away damage. Yeah, they took away 100 damage and they gave it 100 healing, I think is what they did. But this time, they just took 200 healing and didn't give it damage, right? Now, the reason this doesn't make any sense is simply because it's a shad. It doesn't get spammed at all. A lot of Storms don't even heal because of how stupid and bad the identity is for the healing as well. But the bigger and more grim picture here is the fact of the matter that, you know, they think all heals universally need to be nerfed, right? Storm healing, Dark and Stormy, was like never ever complained about, right? You just get pirated or Triton and lose it, right? Barry is different because Barry can be spammed at lower level leagues and all the time, like every round at max level. Dark and Stormy can't be, so nerfing this makes absolutely no sense, right? Now, the reason Life heals were broken and Storm ones did not need to be touched if you're a developer watching this or you're a curious player is simply because Life has up to 5,000 more health right now in live realm. I think it's 4,000 actually, sorry. But they have 4,000 more health. They have insane damage. They pierce all the Storm's resist practically. Storm doesn't pierce any of theirs, it feels like. They have 20% to 30% more resist, and they're immune with a brace. They can dual school way more. and give up less just to power a normal spell. They have a better crit to block ratio. They have way more outgoing, right? 100 outgoing. And if you run a full healing storm build, you have half that. And they have better P serve as well, and an easier time getting pips. And obviously, since their base stats are so good, they can run more shadow pip rating pieces on their gear. So the school is just better in every single way, right? So that's why life hit and heals needed to be nerfed, because they literally have everything and they don't give up anything for it. Storm gives up literally everything, and then you just decide to nerf it, right? You could have just touched life healing and left storm healing, and it would still be the same in the meta. It would still be bad, but you choose to nerf it, right? Again, you could at least make an argument for like a compensation. They take away healing, they add damage like before, but they didn't do that this time. And again, it's just a very clear indicator of the disconnect between the developers and the community of Wizard101 PvP. But yeah, guys, that's everything I want to talk about for this video. I know it's a bit of a longer one, but I really want to get my points across in this video, and I know the entire community has been feeling this way for years, and I figured now that I have all the experience, I've hit in 2k in 5th, I've maxed out every character, I've been around for 3 years, so I want to make a video like this addressing the community's concerns and my concerns, and hopefully this video can get out there, the devs can see it, and some actual good change can be made for both PvE and PvP players, because I know a lot of people are just burnt out of it. And like I said, look at Storm, all of 5th age numbers just dwindling because they don't want to listen to the actual main core problem with the school. If you guys made it this far, a like, rating, and a sub is always appreciated, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, y'all.